Hello students, in today's class you will be explained the box format of an informal, friendly or personal letter. You have already received two Word documents carrying details on what the box format is, how it is written, what are the parameters to be followed. You have also received quite a few instructions on the do's and the don'ts and all those minute details that you have to take care of while writing an informal letter. Today's presentation is to explain to you all those written materials sent to you in details through this audio, because we feel that the audio will help you to understand all those important points which were mentioned in the Word documents. Now, children, although posting a letter, receiving a letter from a postman isn't a very common sight these days in the 21st century, hardly any of you, I guess, must have seen a letter being, posted or a letter being delivered to your home, where, with all your excitement, you open it and you read it, feeling that something very, interesting must have been delivered in the letter. So that excitement of receiving a letter, of writing a letter and posting it is really, something that you don't get to see these days. You don't, it is totally, writing letters in fact has totally faded. But if we go back to, around 2 decades back, I can tell you, children, no other means of expressing oneself was better than writing an informal letter. While writing an informal letter, you are evocative, you express your heart out, and that is one means to vent out your feelings to somebody very near and dear to you. So, writing letters is indeed the best means to communicate with a person who lives at a distance from us. With advanced technology, telephones, with the invention of telephones, and then computers, internet facilities, and smartphones, with all these, we tend to think that, people started feeling that communication, in fact, not only started feeling, this was in fact the truth, that communication became faster. It was these were far, easier means, as a result of which writing letters really faded with time. But at certain point of life, all of us are required to write letters, if not to friends or relatives, because we speak to them over phone these days, but business letters or invitations indeed are still used. Hence it is important for you to, learn to write letters, be it formal or informal. You may feel that we don't write letters these days, then why are we going to learn to, why do we need to learn writing letters? At some point or the other, we really need to write letters, and then you cannot sit dumb thinking that you don't know the format. Hence it is really important for each and every person to know the correct format to write a letter. Now, letter writing is of two types: informal, personal, or friendly letters, formal or business letters. We will be doing informal or personal letters in the first term as decided by all the teachers. And your letters, children, let me tell you, will be judged on the parameters of the correctness of the format. That is a very important part. And the appropriateness of the language. The subject matter is indeed important, because we have to see whether the subject matter is apt to the question or not. And the most important part is your expression. An informal letter gives you ample scope of expressing yourself. Hence, you are to make use of this opportunity. Now, All letters, children, in English are arranged on paper according to a certain plan. The layout is the general arrangement of the letter that we follow. And for the informal letter, like I had told you earlier, we are going to use the box type format. We are not going with the traditional format because the traditional format will tend to confuse you. It in fact tends to confuse children, but the advantage with the box type format is that, as you can see here in this image, every detail on the address, subscription, date, whatever, every detail is written only on the left hand side indent. Otherwise, in a traditional letter, you would find address being here, date being here, again the salutation being here. So, left and right, that really confuses students, children of your age. So, it is always wise that you follow the box format so that you don't make any mistakes in the format, because if you write the format correctly you can easily score 50% marks of the letter. So this is something that you have to keep in your mind. Now in the box type format we can see your address. So this points to your address. This is your address written in not more than 2 to 3, okay, maximum 2 to 3 lines. Then we leave a space and we write the date. We leave a space again, we write the salutation. Then we begin with the body. The body is clearly divided into 3 paragraphs. Then we leave a line again, we write the subscription and then the first name of the sender. Okay, this address is also the address of the sender. So if you are writing the letter, this should contain your address and this should contain your first name only, not your surname. Remember, this is going to be a friendly letter. I'm sure your friends, when they call you, they don't call you by your surname, isn't it? Neither do your relatives or your near and dear ones. So you're going to write only your first name. Okay, now coming to the format in details. Informal, friendly or personal letters are written in informal context to communicate with friends, neighbors, relatives, etc. Although the tone of this letter is not formal and business, casual, shoddy language and a direct translation of spoken language to written form are not accepted. So children, personal letters or informal letters are those that are written to friends, relations or family members. The style that is used is free and easy, but you cannot use very shabby language. You cannot use the daily colloquial language that you use in order to speak in your daily conversation. The language has to be to a certain extent formal, so your choice of words has to be very much apt in this, suitable to what you're writing. Mark division is format 2.5. Content and expression also carries 2.5. Like I told you, 50% of the marks carries in the format. See, you can easily score 2.5 if you write the format correctly. Now address, let us get into the details of all the points that we mentioned, the parts of the various parts of the format. Address of the sender carries half a mark. In the box type format, top left hand corner, we write the address 25 Mahatma Gandhi Road, Umang Nagar, Kolkata 2. This is the address which is written on the top left hand corner. See, this is the top left hand corner where the address is mentioned. Then you may put a comma at the end of each line and a full stop at the end of the last line of the address, as it is given here. You may use a comma after every part and then use a full stop at the end, or you may write the address in block form, that is without indentation and any punctuation mark. So you can either use commas or you don't use commas at all, but please do not mix them both. Okay, however, do not mix them. Either use them or don't use them. Date of the letter carries half a mark. This is written directly below the address. Okay, right after the address we leave a line and below it we write the date. So 4th May 2020, correct? 4 May 2020 also correct, but 4/5/2020, 4.5 dot or using slash, these are not accepted. You have to write the month in full. You cannot write Feb, Nov, Oct, this. These are again not accepted. You have to write it in full. Okay, so now see, for example, say today is the 30th of June. If you're writing a letter today, your date should be 30th June, 2020 or 30 June, 2020. Okay, next is greeting or salutation, which carries half a mark again. Written on the left hand side in the next line, place a comma in the end. Here is your salutation. Dear Sumit, comma. This is an example. Write down the salutation and use a comma after it. Now let's see some more details on this particular part of the letter. What is accepted and what is not accepted? Dear mother, my dear mother. Dear father, my dear father. Dear Aunt Shashi, my dear Aunt Shashi. My dear Uncle Tom. Dear grandmother, dear grandfather. Dear grandmother Mary, dear grandfather Joseph. My dear grandfather Joseph or my dear grandmother Mary. These are all accepted. Dear brother Kevin, dear sister or dear sister Seema. My dear brother Kevin, my dear sister Seema. Dear Ramesh, dear friend Ramesh, my dear friend Ramesh. These you have to keep in mind, all of these, which you can write, which you cannot write. You cannot use any short forms, remember that. Dear mom, mom is short form, not accepted, very informal. Dear dad, not accepted. Dear auntie, without the name. And auntie is again very casual and informal, not accepted. Dear chachi, in Indian language, not accepted. This is a Hindi language, isn't it? Not accepted in English letter. Dear dadi, grandma, dadu, grandpa, grandpop. These are all those languages which are used in our daily conversation. Extremely casual, not accepted. Dear bro, dear sis, dear bhaiya, dear didi, dear friend. None of these are accepted. So you, whatever you write, you will be writing the formal words. Now body of the letter, half a mark. This has been discussed under the heading content. Okay, we'll move on to that later in this explanation. Subscription carries half a mark. The letter must not end abruptly but with a certain form of polite leave taking. Okay, what is accepted? Yours affectionately, yours lovingly, yours affectionate friend, your affectionate friend, your affectionate brother, your affectionate daughter, your loving friend, brother, daughter, etc. And what is not accepted? Yours sincerely, yours truly, because these are used in formal letters. Now, Y in yours affectionately must be 3-stroke Y or a 2-stroke Y, but do not extend the stem of the Y below the line. We usually write English in the single line copies, right? So that line on which you write yours, you cannot pull that, push that tail to the bottom or to beneath the line. That has to be right on the line. The subscription does not have an apostrophe, that is yours and not your apostrophe S. Your apostrophe S means your is. So your is lovingly, your is affectionately is wrong. Yours, Y-O-U-R-S. Okay, yours affectionately, lovingly. The second word in the subscription starts with a small letter. You can see here affectionately starts with A small, lovingly L small. The spelling of these 2-3 words must be correct. There cannot be any incorrect spelling. A comma must be placed at the end of the subscription. So these are a few mandates that you have to follow. Okay, now coming to the content. Okay, remember children, the body always has 3 parts. Here you should begin your letter by referring either to a letter you have recently received, or an event or the reason that has prompted you to write, as I have just received your letter. It was such a disappointment to learn. So the opening sentence could be a response to an earlier communication or should make a reference to the subject of the letter. The following beginnings may be accepted. A few instances are given here. I was delighted to hear of your success. I'm very sorry to tell you. How can I ever thank you for? We were all shocked to hear. Thank you for your letter. I hope you are doing fine. So, these are a few instances given. That does not mean that you simply pick anyone from here and you use it irrespective of what the subject asks you to write in the letter. You're always supposed to decide your opening sentence on the basis of the subject of your letter, on the basis of the question. Somewhere there should be some some relation, some connection. You cannot begin suddenly with some strange words. Either you refer to some previous letter that you have received and you're writing this letter in response to that, or you are disappointed to hear some news about something, or maybe you're sorry about something that you're going to mention now, or you're shocked to hear some information that you got, some message that you got in the previous letter, or you're thanking somebody for the letter for the letter sent by that person the last time. So these are a few instances given. You may follow, you may write these, you may use this, but definitely use them correctly. Just don't blindly write anything. Okay, the subject matter of the letter should be written here in paragraph. There must be 3 points that clarify the subject. Each point will carry half a mark. The closing line, now the subject matter, okay fine, let me come to the subject matter. As I told you, we begin with the introduction, where we mention, we begin with a proper opening speech. Sometimes in the introduction we also mention in a in a short one line the purpose of writing the letter. In the content, which is the most important part of the letter, you explain why you're writing. You take great care to answer the question that has been set. At the same time, make your letter very interesting. So the subject matter depends on the question totally, and you should write clearly 3 points based on the subject, which carries half a mark. The closing line may bear some connection to the subject of the letter, or may be in the form of expressing love and respect to the receiver's family. So the conclusion, it is customary to round off a letter with a polite wish. Okay, example, say, I shall be looking forward to seeing you. I do hope you will be well soon. Give my regards to your parents. Please remember me to your brother. Don't hesitate to write if you need my help. These are a few instances. We all miss you here. I am looking forward to your visit. I look forward to hearing from you soon. So this is how, in a very polite manner, and rounding off your letter, giving it a very not a sudden ending, but a very concrete ending. This is how you're supposed to end the letter. Now, expression. The following points are taken into consideration while marking the expression. This is a very important part, children. The marks for expression in the letter is greatly determined by the grade marks you get in the essay. So, how expressive your essay is, actually decides how much you are supposed to get in the expression of the letter. And let me tell you something. This is not something that your English teachers in the school has decided. This is something, it is a mandate which is decided by the council, and we all have to follow this. So your expression marks comes from the expression in your essay. So in order to get good marks in the expression or score high marks in the expression, you have to write a very well connected, well organized, well expressed essay. Okay, now therefore try to write essays that are composed and coherent in terms of ideas, making less grammatical errors, and give proper justification of the ideas you give in the essays. So you are to learn how to write essays as well. In fact, how to write essays free of grammatical errors, very coordinated, well composed, and justifying the topic. This is what is expected of you. Grammatical correctness of the language used, in your letter, tone of the language of the letter, comprehensiveness and precision of language. Ambiguous language is not appreciated, children. Ambiguous language means language which is garbled, language which is unclear, which is indistinct, which makes no sense at all. So whatever you write, even if you're writing simple English language, you need not use very high sounding words. If you're not sure what those words actually mean, please don't do. If you're not sure about the usage of those words, do not use them. Write simple sentences, short sentences, but write them grammatically correct and write them in an expressive way. So this is all that your letter should carry. I hope you have understood this in details, and you're going to follow all these points that we have taught you. Thank you for your attention, children. Have a nice day. Stay well. Bye bye.